Allah ghafurun.
Fatha on subject and kasra on description.
Yes.
So it's like subject and
Again, let me remind. Inna Allah, indeed Allah. Are you waiting an explanation? Yes, we are. So that explanation will be Dhamma. Inna Allah, indeed Allah. What is Allah? Alimun, all-knowing. Khabirun, knows about everything. Ghafurun, all forgiven. What did we do? So the first one is Fatha, the second one is Dhamma. So when I see Inna and his brothers or sisters, that I'm looking for two things, one Fatha, one Kasra. So in this ayah, Innal Muslimina wal Muslimati wal Mu'minina wal Mu'minat, indeed the Muslims, wal Muslimati, and the Muslim female. What I didn't say is how to turn the female to a plural. So this is
men.
men Muslims. So how am I going to say many Muslim women?
Plural?
Musli. The body is still there. Okay, Muslimatun, right? Okay, the body is still there, but this is one. How am I going to say too many, like more than two? All I have to do is this, brother. Musli. Okay, this will disappear. This is what I put alif and ta. So because this is now referring to the female, I don't need two like muslimatatun. You know, we don't need that. So muslimatun. Okay, bro? Innal muslimina wal muslimat. So inna is here. So what am I going to look for? For fatha and dhamma. So innal muslimina. Does everybody see this? 45, page 45 we have. Page here, brother. Innal muslimina. Indeed the Muslims. So that muslimina, what is the vowel on there? First of all, is it singular? No. Is it dual?
No.
Plural.
No. Is it plural? And the sign of the plural is the ya and nun. Innal muslimina. So I'm going to look for fatha and I'm going to look for dhamma. Because that's what inna does. So indeed Muslims. So that Muslim must be the fatha. What is the sign of fatha there? The sign of fatha, is it this on top of the noon, or how come it's innal muslimina, that muslimina,
So
innal,
it could be either jar or it could be either nasab or fatha or
fatha zone. So because inna is there, so we know that it is fatha. So what is the sign of fatha? Is it this or this? Ya and nun. So it is coincidence that muslimina is fatha and inna makes it fatha. So if somebody says, hey brother, look, inna came and made muslimina fatha. You see this? Yes, I see it, but this is not because of inna. It was always like this. So I will say the sign of fatha is the ya and nun.
I thought this is plural.
Inna. Yes. So inna. Inna al-muslimina wal-muslimati. When you see muslimati, brother, inna al-muslimina wal-muslimat. That means inna al-muslimati. So when I see inna, what am I going to look for? Fatha and dhamma. So how come muslimati is not fatha? Who would say something about that?
wow.
This. Inna
المسلمين والمسلمات والمسلمات والمسلمات
Muslimati. From the rule that we know, inna must make this fatha, right? So we're supposed to say innal muslimina wal muslimata, meaning innal muslimina wa innal muslimata. So how come it's muslimati? And because it's in the Quran, we cannot go otherwise. That means that is correct whatsoever.
No, but there is no inna before Muslimati.
But there is waw, and the waw means and. So indeed Musliman and indeed Muslim. So we assume that there is.
Okay.
So innal muslimati, that elephant ta in the feminine plural,
Is it Dhamma or is it?
it's kasra, but the sign of fatha also is written with kasra. So when you see, when you want to say muslimatun, meaning that many, 3 or more Muslim female, and in Dhamma, so when you want to say Fatha and Kasra, you must do Muslimatin. So you cannot say Muslimatan and you mean plural, okay? Because this ta can never have Fatha. Is it confusing a little bit?
Okay, what is plural again? Female?
Muslimatun, as in the ayah says, okay, as in the ayah says, so Muslimatun. So when I want to put the Fatha, Dhamma and Kasra on the plural form of the female, so Muslimuna, I know, Muslimuna with Waw and Nun, that's male. Or Muslimina with Ya and Nun for Fatha and Kasra. Okay, how am I going to do this with female plural? Muslimatun. Okay, obviously I do it with just with the vowels. Okay? So what about Fatha and Kasra is Muslimatin for bold Kasra and Fatha. Because that Alif Ta can be never Muslimatan, like it cannot take Fatha. إن المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات والقانتين والقانتات والصادقين والصادقات. It's always that. For example, you always hear Jannat, right? When we hear وَبَشِّرِ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ أَنَّ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتٌ تَجْرِي مِنْ جَنَّاتٌ. So Jannat, assuming everybody knows, Jannat. What is it?
Garden.
Is it one or more?
Jannah,
Janatin, two
Jannatun,
Singular.
2 female gardens.
Janatin.
Alright, this doesn't work anymore. Alright, I hope that you see it here, brother. No, because of the green.
2 gardens, but gardens is female. Okay, 2 gardens.
Okay, brother. So, everybody knows Jannah?
Jannah, it's a female word. So it ends with ta.
Jannah. Is this male or female?
Female.
Female, but is it actually male or female? No, it's just feminine.
Feminine
Yes.
word.
So, I'm going to turn this to plural.
Jannatan.
Jannatan.
Jannat.
That's dual.
Jannatun. Jannatin. Jannatin.
Jannah. Yeah, exactly. Is it fatha or kasra?
Jannatun. All I did is add alif and ta. Like Muslimat.
Oh, because
We took the example of Muslim. If you memorize all the examples from Muslim, then you can apply everything to others too. Muslimatun, like Muslimun, Muslimatun, Muslimatun, Jannatun, Jannatun. So brother, Jannatun, you will never hear nowhere whatsoever Jannatan.
Those kasra.
either jannatun or jannatin. Okay? This is a rule about this elephant ta. If you see it, it is, maybe it's an exception somewhere, it's exception. And exceptions do not break the rules. All right, brothers? Exceptions do not break the rules. The rule is, this elephant ta, when it comes to the plural female, is elephant ta, is either jannatun or jannatin. When it's jannatin, it's either fatha or kasra, depending on what's in front of it. When it comes to the broken plural, my brothers, it is what it is. Okay, there is no rule on that. You have to open the dictionary and look at it. For example, Rasulun, messenger, Rasulullah. Rasulullah, meaning what? The messenger of Allah. Messenger. So when I want to say the messengers of Allah, how would I say it? Rasulun. If I go with the rule, it's Rasuluna, right? Rasulun, Rasuluna. But did you ever hear Rasuluna? Instead you heard Rusul, right? Ya ayyuhar rusulu, Rusul, Rusulullah, the messenger of Allah. It is the way it is. There is no rule for that. It is how it is in Arabic. Waladun, one boy, walad. If it's plural, am I going to say waladuna, add waw and nun? Awlad, right? Innama, for example, in Surah al-Taghabun or Surah al-Munafiqun. Innama amwalukum wa awladukum. Indeed, your wealth and your children are fitna for you. So the walad, the plural came awlad. There is a lot of examples in the book. Do you have the chapters, by the way? Did you find this in online PDF form? There is online PDF, brother. Okay.
You still don't
Yeah,
have
yes,
it?
PDF is available. Just I need to
Yes,
search
PDF
it.
is available.
No.
And
Okay, I'll send you. If I didn't send
also last week I sent this with the email. So the chapter 1 and chapter 2
You already
is
have
on the email, inshallah. Check the email, you will find it. So you will see a lot of broken plurals there. Broken plurals means that we cannot make the plural with waw and noon or with ya and noon. Okay? For example, amwalun. Malun is wealth, is what you own. Mal. You know, your wealth in a singular form. Well, how do you say plural? That your wealth. Amwal. Amwal. Do you hear this in your language too? Amwal. For example, in Turkish we use amwal in some cases. Mal, amwal, we use it. So amwal. So there's no waw and nun. That's a broken one. Rusul, we said. Jannatun, we said. Jannatun, jannatun. For example, baytun. Baytun, bayt is home. How do you say plural? If you don't know any better, we say, okay, let me make it plural. Baytuna, right? Like mouses. Baytuna. But no, then we find out that actually it's buyut. Buyut. Kitabun. If we don't know any better, we will say kitabuna, but it's kutubun. What else we have?
Like kuffar. Kuffar is a broken plural.
Kuffar is a plural, it's a broken plural. Some have broken plural and some have actually sound plural, like kafiruna. Kafiruna. Do you hear the waw and noon? Like kafirun, kafiruna. قل يا الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون. Abidun, abiduna. Abiduna is plural. Is it a broken plural or a sound plural?
Sound plural.
Anything with waw and nun and ya nun is
Sound plural.
sound plural.
Okay, can we do a summary before we go?
For kafir we had kafirun, but sometimes I heard they say kuffar. So is that also plural?
It is plural. One is the broken plural and one is
That's two
sound
cases.
plural.
Two.
So
So
some,
nobody would laugh at you.
some just comes with this way and that way. The sound plural is when you see waw and nun in the plural form, that means it's sound. You cannot call this broken plural.
Yes.
Okay. So today we learn the singular, the dual, and the plural. The singular is refers to one person, as we said in example, Muslimun. It's either Muslimun, Musliman, or Musliman. That refers to one. And if I want to turn this Muslim to a female Muslim, all I do is just add ta at the end of it. So instead of saying Muslimun, now it's Muslimatun, or Mu'minun, Mu'minatun. And this is the singular form. The dual form is, all I'm doing is just adding alif and nun at the end of it, or ya and nun. Example is also from Muslim. So if I want to say two Muslim, I'm not saying ithnan muslimun, two Muslims as we say in English. What I'm doing is adding alif and nun. So Muslimun, the body is there. All I'm doing is adding alif and nun. Muslimun, Muslimani, Muslimaini. Muslimani refers to the subject, meaning in Dhamma case. And the vowel there is not with the actual vowel, the vowel is with the letters. And those letters are alif and nun. So actually alif and nun is referring to that these two Muslims are subject in Dhamma. The case ending is Dhamma. The sign is alif and nun. Muslimaini is the case ending is either fatha or kasra, and what is the sign for that is the ya and nun. So Muslimani, Muslimaini refers to male. Muslimatani, Muslimataini refers to female. When it comes to how to turn singular nouns to plurals, we can do it by adding waw and nun to the actual body of the word. Muslimun, all I'm adding is waw and nun. Muslimuna, and this is if it is dhamma. For example, innamal mu'minuna ikhwatun. Mu'minuna, innamal mu'minuna. Indeed, the believers. So obviously the mu'minuna here is dhamma, okay, dhamma, and the plural dhamma. So muslimuna, mu'minuna, abiduna, qanituna, sadiquna, sabiruna, all that is dhamma, and the case ending is dhamma, and the sign for it is the waw and nun. Muslimina, innal muslimina, for example, that is also the plural, and so the plural, I can turn a singular to a plural in two ways, with waw nun or ya nun. The ya nun refers to fatha and dhamma. When it comes to the female sound plural, is all I'm doing is adding alif and ta, the big ta, not the ta marbuta, not the circle one. Instead of saying muslimatuna, I'm saying muslimatun. Sabiruna, so when I want to say patient females, sabiratun, qanitatun. So qanitatun, qanitatun. Sabiratun, sabiratun. Muslimatun, muslimatun. Mu'minatun, mu'minatun. that alif and ta refers to plural female form. Alif and with dhamma, when it's dhamma, it's muslimatun, just like we know in muslimatun. And when the only difference is the fatha and kasra is always in kasra form, like muslimatin, mu'minatin, qanitatin, abidatin. It can never be abidatan, mu'minatan, muslimatan, sabiratan. And the broken plural is, there is no rule that we can apply to it, okay, saying that this is how I'm going to do it. However, there are some very famous popular forms like kutubun, rusulun, for example. Kitabun, kutubun. Rasulun, rusulun. Nabiyun, al-anbiya'u, for example. And also it's nabiyuna also. Some we can turn it to the sound plurals, but if it's not. If you don't see waw and noon in the plural, or ya and noon, that means it's a broken plural. Any questions, brothers? I try to cover, chapter to chapter. What I want from you is, my brothers, please, the page 47, page 45, page 47, brothers. There are some examples for the broken plurals. Please remember this. And these are words from Quran also. So when you remember these, you actually remember what's in the Quran. If you read Quran, which we should, that means you actually seeing these words day and night there. And the examples from Quran is also given to make it easy, okay? In page 48. With examples, applying the rules with examples is always easier than talking and listening. So this is it from me, brothers. If you have anything to say.
So this word list could be a homework for the next class.
Make it homework and with the meanings, brother.
With the
These are
meanings,
very
yeah.
beautiful meanings, all from Quran. Okay, like qalbun, safinatun, madinatun, shahrun, anharun, jannatin tajri min tahtiha al-anhar. Look, it's always there. It will help, inshallah.
When are we going to do an exam or homework? Because Brother Abdullah mentioned something important, which is to have something to allow us to do some work when we need it.
I guess next week at the beginning of the class,
You can just give us a
brother
quiz.
just ask us
Quiz us.
what is the meaning like.